Man, listen. The bronzexuals know that when it comes to logic, it ain't nothing y'all can do with me, bruh. When it come to countering y'all talking points that's spewed by La ESPN, Shannon Sharp, Chris Bupactard, or Chris Burritard, Nicholas Rome, Colin Cowturd, they always talk about, you don't have to tear down LeBron to build up another player. But Colin Cowturd and the rest of the bronzexuals agreed that he failed at baseball. He failed at being a sports owner. He was garbage before Scottie Pippen. Bro, what would Scottie Pippen be without Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan played a huge role into what and how Scottie Pippen developed and blossomed into the player that he was. We wouldn't even know about Scottie Pippen if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. But that's needless to say, we're not even going to bring that up. That's a conversation for another day. What we really about to talk about is back to how I master going at these bronzexuals. How I'm the real king of debunking these narratives that ESPN throw out and y'all regurgitate it and repeat it out to the world, which doesn't make any sense, right? So when we talk about the Kobe Bryant and LeBron James debate, or Michael Jordan and LeBron James, which is merely laughable, bro. Like, I don't even fully entertain it like I used to, bro. Like, usually in the past, it would crawl up under my skin, it'll get to me, but now it's a joke at this point. LeBron James has had the most talent than any of the top legends. And as someone said, man, like, the bronzexuals, they're so delusional. They don't care about facts. They ignore facts. Facts means nothing to them. If all those greatest of all times, if they had the talent that LeBron James had, they'll have 10 times more rings than they retired with. If Jerry West had Dwayne Wade on his team, Chris Bosh on his team, one of the greatest shooters ever in Ray Allen, like, LeBron James has had a lot of talent on all of his teams. May it be the Cleveland Cavaliers. Could you imagine if Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, Michael Jordan, Kobe, could you imagine if they had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love or Anthony Davis? Like, could you imagine? But then they'll say, I said, bro, well, do you realize that Kobe Bryant won 2 championship rings without another NBA top 75 player of all time? And then they're so quick to want to diminish and discredit Kobe's accomplishments in that run that he had without Shaq, right? Won 2 rings without Shaq, who's arguably one of the greatest big men of all time, alongside Wilt Chamberlain, one of the most dominant athletes in the world. But then they'll counter by saying, well, Pau Gasol was one of the top big men, top power forwards at that time. I said, bro, do you realize that that's the equivalent of LeBron James winning solely with Chris Bosh, which he didn't do? LeBron James had Dwayne Wade on that team also, who's arguably a top 3 greatest shooting guard of all time, who won a championship before LeBron James showed up. He already led his team. So what are we talking about here? It doesn't make sense. So Chris Bosh was also listed as a top 10 best power forward during the mid-2000s, along with Pau Gasol. So unknowingly, you don't even realize that's even more of a testament to Kobe's greatness. Because Kobe won with just Pau Gasol as the second best player on his team. LeBron James' second best player was Dwayne Wade. We talking about a super team. So his second best player was Dwayne Wade, who's arguably a top 3 greatest shooting guard of all time, led a team to the finals, won finals MVP before LeBron, and had much success before LeBron showed up. So what are we talking about here? Chris Bosh had led his team to the playoffs. He led the Toronto Raptors to the playoffs before. So what are we talking about here? Why is this even a discussion? But it's just a testament to how great Kobe is. Because Pau Gasol was his second best player. Chris Bosh was LeBron's third best player. So what are we talking about? That would be the equivalent of LeBron James winning solely with Kevin Love when he went back to the Cleveland Cavaliers, which he didn't. Kyrie Irving was his second best player. And then they'll counter there and be like, oh, well, he had Anthony Davis. He won solely with Anthony Davis. Well, first and foremost, in what world is Pau Gasol better than Anthony Davis? And that's the point that we're trying to make to the Bronsexuals. Michael Jordan and Kobe, they won with less. So if they had the same amount of talent that LeBron James had, and considering the circumstances, the rule changes, the mentality, the level of difficulty, playing in the Western Conference, it was much tougher back then than it is now. So they did it with less. LeBron James has had more. Bro, this is me literally being unbiased while being completely biased at the same time. Of course, I'm a huge Kobe Bryant stan. I'm the black version of Stan from the Eminem video. Yes. But there's truth and facts in what I'm saying. Let's look at the numbers, the statistics. If you go back and you look at Pau Gasol's stats before he joined the Los Angeles Lakers, other than 06 and 07, the man barely averaged 20 points. And throughout his career, he averaged in the teens. So his stats compared to Chris Bosh was averaging in the 20s. Compare Chris Bosh's stats to Pau Gasol's stats, and you'll see who was the better player before they joined with LeBron James and before Pau Gasol joined with Kobe Bryant. Like, y'all don't even realize that Pau Gasol still had a good team when he played for the Memphis Grizzlies. He had Rudy Gay, Eddie Jones, Kyle Lowry, Mike Miller. The man still had a few ballers. And then you look in comparison to what Chris Bosh had, other than Chris Bosh's 2 first seasons with the Toronto Raptors, the man was averaging in the 20s. At least Pau Gasol had a team. It should be a testament to how great Chris Bosh is. Chris Bosh led a team on his own. He didn't even have as much talent. So look at what Chris Bosh had, and he carried a team. Pau Gasol, he still had really good players around him. Bro, you can't even name one player on that Toronto Raptors team that Chris Bosh led to the playoffs.